yeah. You're gonna lively up yourself. Don't be no drag. You're gonna lively up yourself. 'Cause reggae is another bag. You're gonna lively up yourself. Don't say no. You lively up yourself. 'Cause I said so. Do what you gonna do. You rock so, like you've never done before. You dip so, and you dip right through my door. You come so, oh yeah. You skank so, be alive today. You're gonna lively up yourself, don't be no drag. You're gonna lively up yourself, 'cause reggae is another bag. Hey everyone, welcome to MT Guitar. Today we're doing Lively Up Yourself by Bob Marley and the Wailers. This was always one of my jams in high school, waking up in the morning, getting going for the day before school and stuff. I would always play this song and it would just brighten up my morning, and I decided to teach it today just because it's such a fun reggae song to learn. There's only 2 chords throughout the whole song, just D and G. But of course, there's so much more to it than that. The groove, the rhythm, the feeling is really fun to try to capture. Obviously, there's the skank part, which is basically really good for your muting skills and your rhythm and your groove, to have something really sit back on the beat, nice and relaxed, and be able to create a lot of space for everything else, right? And we don't want the triads to just ring out, right, like a lot of other styles. So that's a really good thing to learn, and this song is a wonderful example of that. We also have these great guitar parts, right? Also full of groove and full of space, meaning it's allowing the other musicians in the band to fill their parts out. So that's a good lesson to learn in general with music. But we'll cover all those parts. The history of this song is interesting. There's actually 2 versions. I'm not even sure which one I like better. They're both really great. But the 1973 version appeared on African Herbsman, and it's a little more horn-based, right? Probably a little more impromptu of a recording session. It's unclear who the musicians even were on that session. And then the 1974 version is probably the more well-known version. That's the one we're going to cover. That was on Natty Dread. And, that has a little more production to it. But both are really great. So we'll have a tab for this on the Patreon. You can check that out. And remember to subscribe, hit the bell icon, and the thumbs up. And I appreciate your support as always. So let's jump on in. All right, so just a few parts to cover, and we're going to focus on how to groove, right? So hopefully I can be a guide to groove along with, so you can practice with me. And, as always, especially with this type of music, it's good to play along with the recording, because there's just nothing like the magic of this recording as far as the groove, right? So we're going to start with the intro, right? And that's going to be the bass and guitar part. They're both playing that at the same time. So 5th fret on the 6th string, and then 3rd fret on the 5th string, 5th fret. Okay, and it's a pickup note, so that's on the and of 4. And this is swung, sort of a triplet shuffle feel, right? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, so that's how you would feel that. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Like that. One more time. 3, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Good. Do the same thing in the next string. 5, 3, 5 on the 5th and 4th strings. Back to the main riff. Now in the demo, I added some muted strumming, which is optional, but it kind of gets you in the groove. So I'm going to throw that in there. And you're going to rely on the 2nd and 4th beats as your accent, right? So let me do it nice and slow, and hopefully this will make sense. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1 and 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2 and 3. Repeat. 4 and 1 and 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2. You're gonna lively, okay? 4, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4, 4, 4, 4. Now, if that's tricky to combine the muting with the riff, what I recommend is isolating the parts a little bit. You know, the muting is totally optional, but if you wanted to try to combine that, you would say, okay, here's the riff just by itself. Then I would say, okay, can I do the accented sort of skank part by itself? 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't worry about any chords or riffs. Now, can you hear the ba-dum boom? Can you sing it or hum it? Da-dum boom, ba-dum boom. If you can do that, that's gonna ba-dum boom. That's gonna be of great help. Boom boom, ba-dum boom. Just to get you the groove and then get you towards which is optional. You don't have to try to combine it all, but it's kind of nice to get the groove going with just one guitar. All right, now the song starts with the chorus. The verse actually comes after the chorus. So, you're gonna lively up yourself. Right, we have this cool skank part. So, we only have two chords throughout the whole song, D and G. So here's our D triad. 7, 7, 5. It's a root position D triad. And when you play this, it's going to be 1, 2, and 3, 4, and, or down, up, down, up. And the key with this type of music is very muted, very sparse. You know, they used a wah pedal on the recording to amplify this effect, but even with an acoustic guitar, you can get sort of this sound going as long as you quickly release the fingers to mute the strings. Really good technique to work on. So it becomes staccato, right? Or a quick hit, da, 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 as opposed to, that would be very different, right? So you're going down, up, and as soon as I go down, I release the fingers, just barely, right? And we're doing it in a shuffle, which was common in reggae, ska, etc., right? So think about 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3. You could play the entire song just doing this. Lively up yourself. This is another bag. So you rock so. And when it goes to the verse, this is still happening. So you could play the entire song. Hopefully that makes sense. You want to get your right wrist moving in a shuffle pattern, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, and you want to get your left fingers quickly muting the strings. If you can get that, you know, you've done the song some justice, okay? Now, you can also play this really cool bass part, which the electric guitar doubles, and that's what I did in the demo as well. So you would do, it's different than the intro, so this is actually the last part to learn. Then I'll talk about how to combine everything if you'd like to. So when the chorus happens, the bass line changes to this. So that's on the downbeat. So that would be 5, 3, 5, 5 on the 6th and 5th strings. Up yourself. Then we have this awesome riff here. 2nd fret, 4th string, 5th fret, 5th string to 2nd fret, 3rd fret, 6th string, and that's a G major pentatonic riff right there. You know, or bass line, whatever you want to call it. So that would be 3, 4. Light up yourself, don't be no drag, and then you just give it space and repeat. You light up yourself here, there is another bag. And that G riff is kind of a triplet feel right there. Okay, now if you wanted to combine it, it can be a little tricky because it might take away from the groove if it's too much, too quick. So this is a good balance for me where I'm at, but you may decide, no, you know, that's too much moving of the hand and I just want to keep grooving. Totally fine. So if you want to try this, here's what I'd recommend. Riff, skank, and then G riff. And then just hold it there and then back to the riff. Now you've got space to do this. So let's repeat that. So ready? Riff, skank, riff, riff, skank, skank. Time for that. Back to this. Skank. Okay? So after the chorus, then on the verse, the skanking continues, but the bass line goes back to the part that we've covered on the intro. Like that. Like you've never done before. Kind of lines up with the lyrics. Like, you come so. Right? I found that trying to combine that with the skanking was a little harder just because the bass line is sort of anticipated. So instead of trying to combine them at the same time, you might want to switch back and forth. You know, you could start with the chords, for instance. So, like you never done before. Then get ready for the bass line. You come so. And I found it really fun when I was working this out to go back and forth because it really gives you a good sense of the groove, and it's kind of intoxicating. You sort of get into a meditative state while playing these parts. At least I did. And so, you know, hopefully that makes sense. That's all the parts there are in this version. And you've got the skanking, you've got the 2 bass lines, and really that's it. The song just goes back and forth between the chorus and verse from there. So while there's only 2 chords, there's a lot to dig through, and you can play this for a while and really just kind of zone out into the rhythm. So hopefully that makes sense, and I hope that you enjoy as I did, and let me know if there's any questions. All right, well done, everybody. A wonderful song to learn. Go ahead, subscribe, hit the bell icon, and we'll see you next lesson. Bye.